As we come toward the end of the semester, I'd like to show you how you can take the attendance reports that you get out of Canvas and make them more user-friendly. The first thing we need to do is get your attendance out of Canvas. So using the left-hand navigation, we'll click on Attendance. Many of you probably use this already to take roll during your classes. This is my test course, so I only have one student, but you'll see all of your students listed here. You'll go to the top right-hand corner to the gear and click Attendance Report. Now we're going to select the dates that we want to run the report on. I'm going to start at the beginning of the semester and run until today. Your email address should populate here. If it doesn't, go ahead and type it in. You can leave this box blank and click Run Report. We can see here that the green box tells us that your report will be emailed to you. It just takes a few minutes, and once you get it, the email actually looks a little bit scary. It looks like it could be spam, but it isn't. Don't worry, go ahead and click on it, and that will give you an Excel file that looks approximately like this. I have removed my students' last names for privacy concerns, but as you can see here, what we have is a list of everybody who was here on September 5th, everybody who was here on September 10th. This makes it really difficult to do any end of semester calculations or even just to tell a student how many times they've been absent. So what we're going to do is a little trick called a pivot table. And this works in Excel. You can also do this in Numbers for Mac. I don't think you can do it on Google Sheets at this time. If you are using a Windows machine, your screen might look a little bit different. Mine, I'm using a Mac, but the process is the same. So you'll make sure that you have a cell selected within your data, and you'll go to Data and Summarize with Pivot Table. This asks us to select the data we want to analyze. Just go ahead and leave the default and choose where to place it. Go ahead and leave the default with a new worksheet. Click OK. You'll see that Excel has created a new tab here, so we can click back and forth between the download that we got and the pivot table that we're about to create. Now, across the top of our download, we have all of these column headings, right? In our pivot table, we'll see those same column headings appear here. So I'm going to scroll down to student name, click and drag student name over to where it says rows. And now we have student names down the left. Then I'm going to find where it says attendance. Again, I click and drag to where it says columns. Now this gives me a much neater table of absent, late, and present. Okay, now all we need to do is fill in the actual numbers that would go here. Again, I'm going to select attendance, click and drag to where it says values. And we want to make sure that this says count of attendance. If it says something else, you'll click the little I. It could be an I, it could be a question mark, or it could be a little arrow, but you'll click it and that will bring this up for you so that you can select count and click OK. Then you can X out of the pivot table, and we now have a nice user-friendly table that shows each student's attendance. We can see how many times they were absent, how many times they were late, and how many times they were actually present in class. If you're using this for attendance calculations, make sure that you're not counting the grand total. That counts how many times they were counted total, not how many times they were actually in class. Make sure you're using the present column, okay? Make sure that you save your file so you don't lose it. And that should be it. Happy canvassing.